A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone that is zooming in right now. It is now 9 p.m. Singapore time, depending on where you're zooming in from. It could be in the morning, or it could be in the afternoon. But I want to welcome you to tonight's session of the compensation plan training. This is, in fact, the most exciting training, and it's my favorite because it talks about how the money is earned. So I'm excited to get started. And if you're new to the business, I want to just congratulate you on making a change. A lot of people are afraid to make a change because they want to stay the way that they are, but they want their circumstances to be different. So if you've been running a job or if you've been having a business and you know you're not where you want to be, all right, start making a difference in your life. And I want to tell you that this business has been such a rewarding journey for me. 3 years ago when I started, I didn't expect much. I just wanted to start using the products and start trying the products. So I used to have very bad acne skin since the age of 15, and I was suffering from pimples, and it cost me a lot of my self-esteem. It affected me very badly. And I used to go to see the National Skin Center doctor in Singapore, and they would prescribe me drugs to take. So I had oral tablets that I would take in. I also had topical medicine that I would apply. And many years later, it did not help me. In fact, it caused my skin to get worse. Subsequently, I also found that some of these drugs had side effects. One of the drugs that I was taking, retinol A, it's known to have night blindness. Okay, so many years later, I find this out, which is not a very good thing. Also, one of the topical medicine that I was applying, the benzamycin, which was applied onto my skin, it caused me to have more oil production on my skin, so this was difficult to control. On top of that, years later, I've just found out that it's also stopped being prescribed by the National Skin Center doctors. So that's a scary thing. So I started using the Luminous range by Dr. Nathan Newman from Beverly Hills, and I saw a very drastic change. For those of you who know me personally, and for those of you who have seen the pictures of my skin a couple of years back compared to now when you see me in person, there's such a major change. So a lot of my relatives, also my mom personally, she was taking the Reserve and it helped her. She had arthritis for 3 years. She was also on drugs prescribed by our local doctors in Singapore, and she did not get better, but she got worse taking the drugs, and she would have to go for blood tests to ensure that these drugs did not affect her. So I saw this and I started to say that, wow, if these products really help not just my family, not just my friends, what would I do with it? Can I take this as a business? And indeed, tonight I'm going to share with you everything on what makes this business so financially rewarding. For myself, my business right now, after 3 years, I'm right now in more than 50 over countries globally, and I have more than 40 over 1,000 web stores worldwide, just a short 3 years. I'm in more countries than Taobao is in, all right? I'm shipping to more countries than that, so it's exciting. Okay, so let's quickly get started. Again, I want to make this as interactive as possible. So if you do have questions, you can just post it into the chat right below there. Okay, if you go to the bottom of your screen, you can click on it. There is a little bubble that shows you chat. Type in whatever questions that you have. I will answer as we go along. On top of that, all right, if you need a copy of this, don't worry, I'm recording this training down. So I will be sending this out into the chat groups as well. So I'll see you in a while as I mute my video and I bring up the presentation slides. All right, I think everyone can see this very clearly. I'm just trying to mute everybody's video right now, so just give me a moment there. Okay, let's get started. Now, I read somewhere that the difference between a multi-millionaire, a multi-billionaire, and the average Joe, which is majority of what we are, majority of us, or I would say 80–90% of the population, well, the difference is multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires find multiple sources of income. So they create multiple sources of income for themselves, but most of us only have maybe a single source of income from a employment or a traditional business, or maximum maybe two, maybe from an investment, maybe from investing in shares or getting dividends from our shares, or maybe we have some form of rental income yield that's coming in. on top of our job or on top of a traditional business. Or some of us moonlight, all right? We do maybe outside of our job, we give tuition and we teach a musical instrument. So most of us only have a maximum of 2. Now, I want to tell you that this platform that you have gotten yourself into, it's an online platform that has the potential to give you 6 streams of income. That means that puts you immediately into the category of a multimillionaire or a multi-billionaire, in the sense that you are able to create multiple sources of income just on one online platform. All right, let's talk about it, because I'm going to go through it and I'm excited about it because this is how money is made in the business. Quickly, I'm just going to give you the names of what they are in terms of the income streams: retail profit, new customer acquisition bonus, team commission, leadership matching bonus, customer acquisition incentive, and the leadership bonus pool, which is called also the diamond pool. So there are 2 categories of making commission through Jeunesse. The first one is the linear income. When we first come in, a lot of us start with a website and we start with a package. And we are not yet ready to build the business into the next level. So we start off with the linear income. That could be a retail profit. Don't worry, I'm just going to give you the terms right now, but I'm going to go into a little bit of explanation in a little bit on. And also this thing called a fast start bonus, where you can get the customer acquisition bonus. So with this first start, you can already start getting linear income. This could be started by getting a starter kit, which would be your website. That's it. And you get your linear income coming in. But let me tell you that that is not where the residual income will come from. Residual income means that you have income coming in spite of the fact that you are not working. And I would want this for every one of you coming into our online platform, which is the residual income. So in terms of residual income, you would be getting the team commission, the 7 levels of leadership matching bonus, the customer acquisition incentives, and the diamond pool, which I mentioned earlier, of that 3% of the global sales in the whole of Jeunesse world. So let's quickly find out how we can get all of the 6 streams of income coming into our back office. Firstly, all right, getting started, you have to start with a website. So the website is $29.95 US around the world. In Singapore, it's equivalent of $42.30 Sing dollars. In the US itself, it's $49.95. It's a little bit pricier because they come with a starter package, you know, with some brochures inside and some startup kits. So within Singapore, again, it is $42.30. Everywhere else in the world, besides the US, is an equivalent of $29.95 US. And then what you want to do is, this is your website, and the website allows you to already be shipping to 140 countries around the world. As I mentioned, this is more than Taobao, more than Amazon, which is exciting because for just a simple $29.95 gets you in 140 countries. How can you ever get that anywhere else outside of Jeunesse except on this platform? So you have already an online real-time back office. What it means is that it is constantly being updated every half an hour. You actually get that, you know, the income that's coming in, the sales that's going out, you know, all of that being updated on real time. Okay, we're not talking about monthly, you know, updating. We're talking about every half an hour you have it being updated. And then there is a pay-in and pay-out solution where you can see the accounts. You have an e-wallet where you can see what is the money that is coming into your e-wallet. And then if you're going to be spending on your e-wallet to buy your own products for your own usage, you can actually see the payout as well. It's also a global online shopping cart. Most of the websites out there are static, you know, there's no shopping cart. But if you want to have an e-commerce website, you need to have a shopping cart. So this online platform has a shopping cart that's set up for you. And as mentioned, we're shipping 140 countries. So anybody that comes from any country in those 140 countries, all they need to do is click on the country that they want to ship to. They can make the purchase and they put it into your shopping cart, and then they check out and make the payment by all of the well-known credit cards, MasterCard, Visa, and that's it. They get their products shipped to them directly from the company. So it's called a drop shipping, where you don't have to ship it out. And then the next thing, once you get a website, is to quickly go and get started with a package. Now, what is so important about a package is you want to be a sharer of the products. You want to be a user and a product of the products. So you can start with a business package, which immediately, to me, the best package to start with is the ambassador package, because you get the most amount of products for the least amount of price, and you get the maximum potential earnings immediately. So let me talk about traditional business a little bit, because I was a traditional business owner, and prior to that, I was actually a teacher, a secondary school biology teacher. So we started our own training business, and let me tell you, just a course for learning for real estate marketing cost you about $2,000 and up. This was what we were charging. Now, when I started my traditional business, I had to do some renovation. I rented a place. Renovation cost me 10,000 Sing dollars just to get it started. All right, I renovated a bare unit and then get the projector and lights and all of that up. And I had to pay 2 months of rental as a deposit, which is about 3,000 for the rental. So that's 6,000 and another month of rental. So in total, I paid 19,000 before I started my traditional business. Now, to me, that is very cheap, because when I talk to a lot of my retail friends or F&B friends that they're running businesses, to them, they tell me that easily just to start a company, all right, traditionally, rent in terms of renovation is 50,000 and up. That is not including the products. So they still have to bring in the products, and the products itself cost them 20 to 30,000. So that sets them back sometimes up to 100,000 just to get started on a traditional business. But here, if you go with a business package, it's as little as less than 2,000 Sing dollars. It's about $1,800 to get you started. Okay. Now, if you want to go for the 1-year jumbo package, that's about $2,000 over dollars, but that is covering you for 1 year of almost like we talk about rental. But when you take out that, you minus off the fact that you are getting products in exchange for that money, it's almost insignificant what you're paying for in terms of the website and to get started in this business. So to me, it's a no-brainer. If you're a business person, you know that just to start a business easily costs you tens of thousands, and here you can get started for $2,000 or less. Now, for those of y'all who maybe are not so certain, because maybe you think that maybe it's not for me, I'm not a business owner, I've never done business before, I just want to get started and make sure the products work for me, then choose the consumer package, because I'm going to tell you that you're not going to be disappointed. Tomorrow night, in fact, we also have the power sharing where we talk about how the products have benefited, and it's all personal stories shared from different individuals who have used the products and have benefited from that. So that's from 9 to 10 tomorrow on Zoom as well. Now, so when you get started on the products, or when you start using the products and eventually become a product of the product, as I mentioned earlier, be a share of the products, not a seller of the products. So it's like us when we watch a good movie or we go to a good restaurant. We've got friends, we've got family members around us, we would share that very easily and very effortlessly. So that's where the consumer package helps you to get started, to make sure that you benefit. Now, if you buy the consumer package, please do take note. If you're going to be using the skincare, take a picture of yourself before you start using the products, because you're going to be, as I mentioned, a product, you're going to be showing how other people, how you've benefited, and how you have changed from using the products. I must tell you, I never regretted taking a picture of myself, because if you've seen the pictures of me previously and now, you will see it's almost like a completely different person, but of course more beautiful now, okay? So let's get started on where the income comes from. Well, the first income comes from this thing called a retail profit. Those of you who run traditional businesses, it's easy to understand this. Well, most people buy at retail price. Today, when you go out to NTUC or any shop, you buy clothing, you buy it at retail price. Now, the person who owns the business actually buys it at distributor price or wholesale price, and then they make the profit difference. So for Jeunesse, it's the same thing. There is a retail price that your customers will be buying at. It's probably, between 20 to 45%. And then that difference you make as a profit. So I give you an example for the Boxer Reserve in Sing dollars, it's about 200. And a distributor, you as a member or a business owner, all right, you get that at 127. But your consumers, when they get from your web store, all right, you get that 20 to 45% profit of about $73 coming directly into your e-wallet or your website itself. The second income is, I call it the new customer acquisition bonus, but I like to give it a layman term, which I call it bulk purchase profit. So some people, your consumers, they've tried maybe the product, one product like the Reserve, they bought it at retail, but then they found that this particular Reserve benefited them very much, and then they want to share it with their family members as well, and they want to get it at a better price. So you can extend that to them. The first time that they get from you, I consider it a bulk purchase. They can buy a few more boxes. Well, if they go for the Supreme Reserve, they get 5 boxes. If they go for the Jumbo Reserve, they get 10 boxes. When they do that, they will get an additional discount on that, but it's only one time they choose the bulk purchase package. And once they get that, you as the owner of the business, you will get a new customer acquisition bonus or a bulk purchase bonus, all right, paid out to you from the company. So it ranges from $25 US all the way to $500 US. Now, I just want to give you some exchange rates because I know that there are some of you who are zooming in from Singapore, some of you who are zooming in from Malaysia. So the current exchange rate in terms of US dollars, if you convert that $25 US in Sing dollars, you multiply that by 1.22. If you want to convert that to Malaysia ringgit, you take the $25 US times 3.5. So that's quite a substantial amount of income that will come in just from this thing called a fast start bonus or a new customer acquisition bonus, or my layman term, bulk purchase bonus, right? Now, let's talk about this thing where you combine the second and third income. This is called a fast start bonus, as I mentioned earlier. Very simple, okay? This is you, and somebody comes to you and they want to, they have become your customers, they have been buying on retail, and then what they want to be doing is to actually get started in a business. So they decide they want to do a bulk purchase, and they decide they want to get the business package because, as I mentioned earlier, the business package is indeed the most affordable and most economical business package, because what happens if they get the most amount of products for the least amount of price and they quickly get started making the most potential income. So this is you here, this person here, and then you have one customer here and another customer here who are actually business builders. They see the business. So what's going to happen is here, this person gets the ambassador package, and you will get $250 US and another $250 US. And so that's $500 US paid out to you from company. Now, every product, every repeat sale, every package has a point attached to it, and we call this a CV, all right, commissionable volume. I just call it points. So it's similar to your credit card. When you spend on your credit card, you can change points for dollars. Similarly, on this online platform, you can change whatever points are being spent on your web store and all the web stores within your organization. You can convert all of that into cash for yourself. And you can earn up to $26,250 US in a week. So there is a cap, but this cap is to prevent an over excess payment out, so that the company stays afloat. You want a company to stay long term, right? So they've calculated, and the maximum that they pay out on this particular third income is $26,250 US. The great thing about this is that this volume, in terms of all the points, they go all the way down as far as your last web store that just opened. On top of that, the points would never expire, or what we talk about, they never disappear or get flushed, okay? As long as you are consuming one product, an equivalent of 60 CV, like a Boxer Reserve or a serum every month, all of these points will be maintained in your web store. And you can accumulate this volume all over the world. As I mentioned, for me, after 3 weeks, that's short. After 3 years of building the business, I am now in 54 countries around the world. So all the points is being accumulated in all the 54 countries around the world, even though I'm based in Singapore. The fourth income. Now, the fourth income is where we talk about expanding this business. Similarly, every traditional business owner, they want to expand their business because they know that as they expand the business, what's going to happen is that they have a larger customer database. And when they have more customer database, what's going to happen? They have more income, more revenue, and therefore they will also have more money coming in for their business as well. So let me explain this a little bit. Similar to that, all right, remember what we talked about. This is you, and you open a web store with a business partner in Mexico, and you have another business partner who opens a web store in San Francisco. Now, all of his web stores are in 140 countries. All of her web stores are in 140 countries. Now, because they are your direct, all right, you introduce them directly, they know you personally, you all will get between 20 to 30% of what they convert in terms of their points to cash. They don't want to give you an example of that, so don't get too worried about this. And now your business partner here went on to open more web stores. He opened one in Brisbane and one in Moscow. And she, from San Francisco, she went to open one in Beijing and one in Jakarta. So you can see why, how you can start in Singapore and have business web stores in opening up in Mexico and San Francisco, Brisbane, Moscow, Beijing, Jakarta, and have the products being shipped there. Now, because they were not directly brought in by you, all right, but they were brought in by your business partner who opened a Mexico web store, and another lady here from San Francisco who opened up the Beijing and Jakarta. So they're considered as your level 2, all right, being introduced by your own direct business partners, okay? And that, even then, all right, because you're considered a flagship store, I see you here right at the top, you're considered a flagship store, they all are still part of your organization in terms of the web stores. So you make 15% of when all of these web stores here, as you can see on the second level, when they convert their points into cash. As I mentioned, where are the points coming from? They're coming from either the retail sales or the repeat sales or the bulk purchase, as I mentioned earlier. All right, all of these points can be accumulated, and they're a big 100% accumulated upwards towards your San Francisco business partner and then to you. Same thing for Brisbane and Moscow, all the way up to the Mexico business partner and all the way up to you, San Francisco. Now, as we start to increase that, all right, we can have more web store partners. So when this Brisbane, all right, was introduced by your level 2, she goes on to open Auckland and another business partner in Singapore, and this person in Moscow opened in Los Angeles and Malaysia, the web stores, and this person here, he went on to open from Jakarta, he opened in Paris, and another one in Jakarta. Well, because they were directly brought in by, your business partners on the level 2, they become your level 3. You still are the flagship store owner, so all of these points travel up to you, and you can still get 10% of when they change the points into cash. Now, as we move down, as we expand the business and we have more web store partners and we have more, that are opening, what happens is that your level 4, 5, 6, and 7, all of them, you get 5% of when they convert the points into cash. So let me give you an example of that, okay? Now, if you are at a rank, we talk about rank called Jade, Pearl, and Sapphire, this is where you start to enjoy this level leadership matching bonus. I'll explain to you what are all of these ranks a little bit on. But if you're a Jade, what happens is that you have with you 8 distributors, so 8 business partners, or you have 4 direct that you introduce in the business, and they are executives where they went out to find 2 other business partners. Each of these 4 of your level 1s that you brought in directly, they went out to find 2 business partners, all right, one left and one right. Then what happens, you're a Jade and you will get 20% on all of these points being converted to cash. If you went out to a Pearl, okay, it means that you have 12 distributors who sign up directly with you, or you have 8 executives where 8 are directly signed up by you, and they have 2 business partners that they sign up each on their left and right, okay? So you would match your, the ones that you introduce directly, which is your level 1 at 20%, and then you will also have your second level where your business partners brought in their business partners, and you will get 15% of what they convert the points to cash. When you went all the way up to Sapphire, it means that you have 12 executives, it means that you have 12 direct that you brought into the business, and they went out to find 2 business partners each. and you would match them 3 levels. Means that your level 1, you get 20%, your level 2, you get 15%, and your level 3, you get 10%. All this is based on the points being converted to cash in all of the countries, in all of the web stores in your organization. So this is very, very exciting. Now, there is an extra incentive, and that is if you had 5 that you personally sponsored, that means you 5 directly brought them in as your business partners, okay, you directly introduced them to the business, you get an additional 5%. Instead of that 20%, you get an additional 5% of that first level, okay? So it means that you get 25% of what they convert from points to cash. Now, if you had 10 business partners that you personally introduced into a business and they open their web stores, you will get an additional 10%. So that instead of having 20% on your level 1, you get 30% of that leadership badging bonus, which means that you get 30% of all of their web stores converting their points into cash. Okay, so let me give you a rough idea. If you had maybe about 900 points, that gives you about $35 US. So in the next slide, I'll explain it in dollars and cents. So you must remember that all of this personally sponsored that you brought in must be active distributors on a monthly auto ship, meaning that they have one product that they have on that is minimum 60 CV, like a serum or a reserve that they have on repeat purchase every single month. So let's talk about the dollars and the cents. Okay, I give you a rough idea because I've been talking about percentages. Let's talk about the dollars itself. Okay, this is in US dollars. You can take this as in Sing dollars or US dollars, but I like to take it in US dollars, all right, because we are paid in US dollars. So let's talk about this, all right. We talk about, remember, the additional 5% if you had 5 personally sponsored and they are on auto ship. Amy, your level 1, let's say she earns 10,000 from her team commission, which is she converts the points to cash. You will earn 25% of that $10,000. So you earn $2,500 just on one business partner's web store. Now, isn't that exciting? So now, Amy, your level 1 now, because the difference is in the first scenario, you only had 5 who were on auto ship, 5 of your level 1 on auto ship. But now in the second scenario, you have 10 of your level 1 on auto ship. So the 10 that you personally sponsored, they are all on repeat purchase of a product every month at 60 CV, maybe a serum or reserve. So what happens is she again earns 10,000 from her conversion of points into cash, which is the team commission. So every 900 points, she converts it to $35 US, and she earns out of that income, she earns $10,000. Okay, what's going to happen is that you will earn 30% of that $10,000, which is $3,000. Now, don't worry about Amy, because the money is not being taken out of Amy's 10,000. The money is being matched, all right, for you by the company. So the company is the one that matches Amy's 10,000, and they give out that 30% to you because you are the flagship store owner that brought in Amy as a business partner. You introduced Amy. You taught Amy how to become successful on this expansion of the web stores. The sixth income, which I am the most excited of because I get to see this and experience this as a diamond of the company itself. What is a diamond? Well, I basically generate enough points every month to hit 1,000 cycles, which is about 900,000 points every single month in terms of my volume. And what happens is I then get to share in the global company CV, which means that I might not be already in that 140 countries. I'm only in 54 countries, but I get to experience what it's like to be an owner of Jeunesse Global. So every quarter, what the company does is the company will take out 3% of the global organization of Jeunesse all over the world in 140 countries. They'll take out that 3% of the CV and they will distribute it among all of the diamond directors who have that volume. So they'll distribute it and it's done every quarter. So how to qualify for this? Now, you might want to take a picture of this down because this is important. So it is based on the number of shares that you get. So to qualify, one needs to be in the diamond rank. It means that you need to at least have 1,000 cycles in 1 month with 6 sapphire legs. I'll talk about the ranks later on. And 3% diamond pool is paid out based on number of shares you qualify for. So you might qualify for more shares. So let's look at an example here. This is Sam, Jennifer, Tim, Laura, and Megan. Let's say, for example, that all of them are diamond directors, but each of them, you can see they have a different portion of the pie, the 3% global pie. So 10 shares, 7 shares, 5 shares, 7 shares, 8 shares. I give you an example in June 2015, because you might be wondering, oh, what is Jeunesse now generating in terms of sales volume? Last year, we hit $1.4 billion in sales revenue for the whole year. Okay, I want to just divide that out because 1.4 billion, it's 12 zeros. So let me count that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and what I like to do is give you an idea of what we are generating in terms of per month. So in the June 2015, which was 2 years ago, 2015, that's right, we generated $120 million in 1 month, in a single month. So we're talking about 3% of 120 million, all right? And it's only for 1 month. We're talking about every quarter and every month. So again, coming back to the shares, you get 1 share for being a diamond, 1 share for having a diamond under you because you have helped somebody become successful as well, 1 share for being a double diamond and above. So if you are a double diamond, you basically get 1 share for being a double diamond and a diamond. And then you get, if you have diamonds under you, because you definitely would have diamonds under you because you're a double diamond, and you would have to have at least 2 diamonds under you, so you get shares for that as well. And then 1 share for every 1,000 cycles in that quarter. But the good thing about this is, let's talk about, we are in the month of March right now, so we are in the first quarter, January, February, March. So if January you have 1,000 cycles, February 1,000, and March 1,000, then you basically get 3 shares because you hit 1,000 cycles in every quarter. Now, if you had 1,000 cycles in January, and then you had 500 cycles in February and 500 cycles in March, you still get 2 shares because you total that up, you have 2,000, and you still, because you accumulate over 3 months, you still have 2,000 cycles, and that it gives you an equivalent of 2 shares. So that's very, very, very exciting. Now I want to talk a little bit about rank, because we talk about progression, moving up this business, and you want to get moving up, because what's going to happen is as you move up, you basically are expanding your business. As you move up, you know that you are expanding your business, your web stores around the world. So let's talk about it. When you start, you are an associate, which I mentioned earlier. An associate is getting a website. And when you get a website, the only thing that you can be earning at this point in time is active income. Even then, an active income, it includes your retail profit, and it also includes your customer acquisition bonus, where I talk about the bulk purchase, the one-time bulk purchase where somebody makes, you make 25 to 250 US dollars. Just starting with $42.30 Sing dollars, to me that is just such a generous company. All right, I cannot think of any other company that would allow you to get started so easily. So there is no excuse for you to say, I don't have the money to get started, I don't have the money to do this, I don't have the... Well, you can, because you can start with a starter kit if you really are, cannot afford, and start making your retail bonus first, your retail profit and customer acquisition bonus. And then once you've gotten that, you've made enough, go and become a distributor, get a package. So the basic package starts from as little as 300 Sing dollars all the way up to, as I mentioned, 2,000. And if you're a business owner, 2,000 plus. It's crazy to start a global online business that is in 140 countries. It's a no-brainer. So then you go up as distributor, but already as a distributor, you get a website, you get 20 to 45% retail profit, you get what I mentioned earlier about the customer acquisition bonus between 25 to 500 US dollars, and then you get the CV coming in, which is the points I mentioned earlier, where you can convert the points into cash. So as executive, you find 2 business partners. This is you right at the top. We talked about it. You find somebody who maybe open up a web store in Mexico, another person here who open up a web store maybe in San Francisco, and all of the 4 income that you will continue to make from a distributor. But the additional is where we talk about the team commission, because you can only get the team commission if you have a left business partner and a right business partner. That's where you can cycle. You need to have 300 and 600 points coming in. It can be on the left 600 points and the right 300 points, or it can switch over at any point in time. As long as you make up about 900 points, you're going to get $35 US. And as I mentioned earlier, you can make up to 26,250 in 1 week on that. You move up to a J, you have 8 direct distributors or 4 executives, where you have 4 people that you brought in and they went out to find 2 business partners each. All of the 5 income plus the 6 income, where you have your level 1 matching bonus. We talked about it, between 20 and 30% of that conversion of points to cash, which is $35 US. And as you move up to Pearl, okay, you have 12 people, which are your business partners, which you personally brought in, or you have 8 that you personally brought in, and they went out to find 2 business partners each, and you get all of the income and plus an additional 7 income, where you have the matching bonus of the level 2, and you get 15% of that. So whatever you are matching on your level 2, if they're converting their points to cash at 900 points converts to $35 US, you get 15% of that. When you get to Sapphire Elite, we kind of skip. We talk about Sapphire here as being 12 level 1s, 12 of the people you personally brought in, who went out to find 2 business partners. Again, all of the 7 income coming in, plus an additional 8 income, where you have a leadership matching bonus on the level 3, where you get 10% of that conversion of points to cash. So again, this is very exciting because it keeps increasing, as you can see. So I know a lot of people who are making more on the leadership matching bonus than they are making on the team commission or the cycles. And then you go up to Sapphire Elite, where you get 100 cycles within that 1 month. And then you go up to Ruby. Okay, now for Sapphire Elite and Sapphire Executive, the income is the same. But of course, when you're generating 100 cycles, we're talking about a minimum just on that team commission, $35 US times 100, which is 3,500 just on this 5th commission itself. Now you move up to a Ruby Director, where you have, within that 1 month, you must have 2 things. You must have a structure of 2 Sapphire Lakes, which is here. So you must have 2 business partners that have become Sapphire Executives, and they must be on a different lake. Okay, they don't have to be on the left or the right. They can all be on one side, but they must be from a different business partner that you brought in from your level 1. So when I say 2 Sapphire Lakes, I mean that if you've brought in 12 business partners as an executive, it must come from that 2 out of that 12. Okay. Now I want to mention something, because I did not come in the Pearl and the Jade rank, okay, and all the way to Sapphire rank. Make sure when we talk about 8 distributors, make sure that you have a minimum of 3 on one side, and the remaining, in this case, 5 on the other side. So 3 on the right or 3 on the left, and then 5 on the other side. Same thing for here, minimum, it has to be, okay, same thing for the 12 distributors or 8 executives. It must be a minimum of 12 on one side, maybe the right or the left, and the remaining 9 on the other leg. Okay, now let's go back to Ruby. So again, your structure has to be 2 Sapphire Lakes, and then you must, within that 1 month, generate 200 cycles. It means that you have to have, at least you would have minimum as a Ruby Director, make 200 times $35 US, which is 7,000 US. So that is equivalent of close to 10,000 Sing dollars, and already 3.5 times of that in ringgit. So it's, wow, that's very substantial. 21,000 plus ringgit just from the 5th commission here, which is the team commission. Okay, when you go out to Emerald, this is where you need to have a structure of 4 Sapphire Lakes. Again, you have helped 4 business partners become Sapphires, and then within that same month, you need to have 500 cycles. So just based on that cycles, you would have generated 500 times, say 5,000. I believe it's 17,500. That's right, 17,500 US dollars just based on that team commission. But I've not even included the leadership matching bonus. So you would easily be making already 17,500 US dollars and above. That is more than what some traditional business owners, bosses make. And I think that's probably more than what a lot of employees make. So now going up to, and we're talking about, remember this business is a business, it's a global online business. We're talking about a business that runs even while you're sleeping, because your web store, if it's based in US or Mexico in a different time zone, is still open while you're going to sleep in this part of Asia, somewhere else in the world, in another part of the world, in the US, in the Western world, it's waking up to a morning to be spending. So unlike most people who are earning this kind of income in US dollars, they are probably the CFOs or CEOs or directors of companies, and they have to be 24/7, you know, in their business, 24/7 in their job, having more responsibilities, meaning that they have less time for their family. So this is what I love about this business. As you build and you earn more, you don't get more tied down with the business. In fact, you get freer. So we move up to the diamond rank, which is, and in this picture is the pinnacle, but it's really not the pinnacle right now. It's all the way up the crown. This is where we want to be moving all the way up to, okay? But in this picture is the pinnacle at this point in time, okay? So for a diamond rank, well, again, structure-wise, you need to have 6 Sapphire Lakes. You have to be able to create 6 business partners who are already Sapphire Lakes, 6 Sapphires, and then within that same month, you need to have 1,000 cycles. And look at that, you know, the business plan just rewards you as you move higher and higher up, moving all the way to level 6, okay, where you get the leadership matching bonus of 5% on top of all the ones that I mentioned earlier. Plus, you get this, what I call the diamond pool, which I talked about. Every quarter, you get 3% of the global CV. And well, let me just give you some figures here, okay? Just what I've been paid out based on just the diamond pool, it is in a 5 to 6 figure range just for this number 12 income. So that's exciting, right? So this is where I want to get every one of you up, that if you are willing, we will match energy for energy to get you up to that diamond pinnacle for that slide. Now I want you to take a picture of this, because this is actually the Jeunesse compensation plan and a summary of what I mentioned. But this one in particular is in the US. So I'm going to just show you, I'm going to click on it and see whether it gets to that. Let me just try this out just a moment. It might take a while to load. So what I'm going to do is just probably paste this instead onto a website for me. I think I have that already on. Let me bring that up for you. And I want to show you where you can find this. Okay, just give me a moment while I share this with you, because this is very exciting. Okay, so I think everyone can see this. Let me paste what I had on my slide, and I want to show you where would it bring you to. So once what you can do is open a web browser. And then just copy what I've written there. Okay, here we go. So it's clear here. So this is the US Jeunesse Financial Rewards Plan, basically a summary of what I mentioned, but it's all in words. So it might be more interesting to watch my video. Okay, if not, and if you're a lawyer or you are an accountant, you might want to read this instead, because you know, this is something like, no, I need to see it for myself in black and white. So this is where you can find it. As I mentioned, these are the 6 ways we talk about it, the retail profit. I want to highlight something though. This is in the US. So customer loyalty program is not yet in Singapore. So this is the only difference where you got to take this out. It's not happening. But if you have a business partner in the US, feel free to share that with them, because they have another customer loyalty program which gives them additional $50, and then they can get points as well, and they get 10 free Luminous serum samples. But everything else is the same. We talk about the first order bonus, which is customer acquisition bonus that I mentioned before, 25 all the way up to 500. And if you create a package, because some of you, I know you have business partners or consumers, when they first want to try the products, they say, I don't find the packages the kind of products that I want. So can I create a package? Yes, you can. Well, there is a create package price ratio. So in terms of the CV, in terms of the points, if you get 100 to 200, this is what you're going to get for the first order bonus, at 10%. And then 200 to 300 CV, you're going to get 12%. And then 300 CV and above, you're going to get 15% in terms of your customer acquisition bonus. And as we move down, this is where the team commission I talked about, okay, where you change the points to cash, which is about 900 points. You can convert it to $35 US and up to $26,250 US per week. And I talk about the leadership matching bonus, where as you expand the business on each level, and depending on the rank that you're at, you can actually get a leadership matching bonus of between 5 to 30% all the way up. And so I talked about the fifth income, which is the customer acquisition incentive, where if you have 5 customers on your level 1 that are repeat customers on auto ship, then you get additional 5% bonus. If it's 10 retail customers that are on your auto ship and they're your level 1s, then you're going to get additional 10%. So that's why the range for your level 1 is between 20 to 30%. Okay, let's move down. And this also shows you the ranking if you want to see that ranking all the way up and how to qualify for each of the rank. And then the sixth one, as I mentioned, is a diamond pool bonus, which is the 3% of the global CV. Okay, so do take note as well. It tells you here, how to earn the commissions. You need to be able to generate all of this when you first start. You need to quickly get started, become an executive. Then you can start to earn all of the incomes. Okay, if you only want to be earning the first 2 incomes, then you got to get started with at least a website. And then of course they talk about certain other things there in terms of the renewal of the website and how to maintain the website. And also, we did not mention this, but I want to highlight, because this is a very big part of the business building, and that is the lifestyle rewards. Every year they help you, the company helps you to qualify for a trip that's fully paid, plus not just it is fully paid, remember that as you're going, you are enjoying the lifestyle. The amazing thing is your business is still running autopilot, because it is a global online business that while you're sleeping, the business is still running. So I've been on the Emerald trip. I've been on the Diamond Discovery. It was amazing. I went for the Emerald trip. I was in Hawaii, in Maui, 6 to 7 days of, world-class facilities, world-class treatment, VIP treatment. And then I went for the Diamond Discovery in Switzerland last year, and same thing, business class seats on an aeroplane, fully paid for myself and my husband. We flew there, everything from the meals to the experiences, taking a helicopter ride all the way up to the mountain, and also having the train ride and having the skiing, everything was paid for. It was such an amazing time. We had a dinner in a castle that was booked just specially for us. So this is something that really, I want every one of y'all to be able to participate in. And also one of the experience, which is not written here, is also the incentive trips. I've been to Alaska cruise, or the Dubai trip, the Mediterranean cruise, and this year we're going to Prague and Budapest. It's less than 1 month away, right? Because it's March. I'm so excited because in the month of April, end of April, we'll be flying out to Prague and Budapest, and that is where I can't wait. Again, every year we enjoy ourselves. While we're building the business, we also play hard as well. So this is where we come together and we just enjoy the time that we have with each other. So the last page I want to talk to you about is, it talks about the ranks. which I showed you graphically, so you can read through a little bit in more detail. The director ranks, how to achieve those ranks, what's necessary. And finally, right at the bottom is the glossary. There is a glossary. As I mentioned, the pinnacle in Jeunesse is actually not diamond. It is crown diamond here, this one. Okay, so this is where, you know, everyone should aim for. Okay, everyone should aim for, because look at that, the one-time bonus is $1 million once you hit crown diamond. Wow. So that's just one-time bonus, right? So immediately, one time. So this is glossary of terms. If you're not sure, sometimes you see these words coming out, like I talked about commissionable volume, CV, as you're looking at your back office, you know, wondering what is this active or A. So this is what active is: annual renewal, auto shipment, business management system, you know, get to preferred customer, which I mentioned, this only for the US. Group volume, what is that? Line of sponsorship. Personal group volume, what's the difference with that? What's the personal volume? What is the difference with personal group volume, personal volume, and preferred customer? Qualified, how do you qualify? And then team commission, upline, wholesale customers. So that is all that I want to show you, because I think this is very, very important for you to know. And then please share it with your business partners, your consumers, and your team as well. Let's stop the share right now and bring that back. See whether I have any more slides. I think that's about it. So I'm just going to go into the Q&A right now. So if you have any questions, please now you can post it into the chat group, and I will answer any of the questions that you have. Let's give you about 5 seconds, because on Zoom everything's a lot faster. So instead of 5 minutes, I give you 5 seconds to ask any of the questions, and then I can answer it here right now into the chat group. I can type it down. If not, I'm excited that you are on this Zoom, and I've come to the end of my sharing. If you do, think of any questions because after you've seen the presentation and you've seen the rewards plan and you cannot sleep tonight, okay, all right, do get a notebook, put it next to you in the bed, and then scribble it down so that tomorrow you can ask your leader or the person that brought you into the business, or you can always privately WhatsApp me, okay? If not, all right, you can go back to watching this video again as I send out the recording. Okay, I wish you great success in your Jeunesse journey. I know this is the business where it is easy. It's easy to do, and it's for everyone. And let me tell you that it's just like lining up. Stay in the queue, stay persistent, hold on to your dreams. Don't let anyone steal it from you. Make sure that you know how to get to where you want to go. If you're not sure how to get to where you want to go, zoom in with us, stay with us, because we have this training every single week. And get to your active upline sponsor. If the person just in front of you is not active, never mind, move up to the next person. If the next person is also not active, get up all the way up to your diamond, talk to them, because all of us wish, the greatest wish for us, for all of you, is for all of you to be more successful than each of us ever will. Because if we can do it, definitely you can do it. So I love you guys very much. God bless everyone, and I'll see you in the next Zoom. Good night, everyone.